The point in my life, like, we all grew up in the streets, and we try to be better, but they labeled us felons, sent us back to jail. I had to fight against that the whole time to gain my respect and be who I am today.
What's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
What if I told you Meek Mill's darkest secret with Diddy is finally coming to light? And the truth is way messier than anyone imagined. From secret recordings to shocking confessions, this story will change the way you look at both of them, forever. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will blow your mind. Last night's revelations had the internet in complete shock. Our main character, Jay, finally admitted that the rumors floating around weren't just whispers, they were true. For weeks, people speculated about what really went down behind closed doors. But Jay stayed quiet, brushing it all off with quick denials and nervous laughter. Now, the story has taken a turn that's even more intense than anyone imagined. According to people close to the situation, Jay wasn't just pressured, he was placed in situations that tested his limits and left him questioning who was really in control. The whispers that once seemed like fan-made conspiracies or exaggerated gossip are suddenly starting to look like carefully concealed truths. Allegedly, there were cameras rolling, private recordings made, and a power dynamic at play that left him feeling trapped. What makes it even more shocking is that someone completely unexpected may have walked in at the worst possible moment, catching everything firsthand. And here's where it gets wild. Word is that recording still exists. The idea that such footage might surface has everyone on edge, and whether or not it ever sees the light of day. The mere possibility has already set social media ablaze. Within hours of Jay's admission, hashtags exploded, trending across platforms. People who had once mocked the rumors for being far-fetched suddenly began digging up old clips, interviews, and subtle moments they had overlooked. Tweets poured in by the thousands, screenshots, memes, shocked reactions, and long threads from self-proclaimed truth seekers piecing together a timeline that supposedly proves how long this has been building. What really pulled people in, though, wasn't just the confirmation of rumors, it was the detail in Jay's tone. Witnesses described his confession as almost reluctant, as if every word was being pulled out of him. He admitted enough to confirm the whispers, but not enough to give the whole picture, leaving fans and critics alike dangling on the edge of uncertainty. Was he hiding something even bigger? Was he afraid of the fallout if the full truth came out? Or was he under some kind of unspoken pressure not to reveal too much? The most haunting part of all of this is the alleged existence of that recording. Those close to the inner circle claim it was never meant to be seen by the public. But the fact that it's being talked about so openly has given rise to a tidal wave of speculation. Some believe it's in the hands of someone who doesn't know what kind of leverage they're holding. Others think it's already been shown to a select few as proof. And then there's the terrifying possibility that multiple copies exist, hidden away, waiting to be used when the timing is right. Social media has turned the whole ordeal into a spectacle. One side is convinced Jay is the victim of manipulation, forced into situations where he had little choice but to comply. Another side, however, argues that he knew exactly what he was doing. And now that things are spiraling out of control, he's trying to play the sympathy card. The divide is so sharp that entire communities online are at war over who's really telling the truth. Digging deeper, people started analyzing Jay's past appearances, pulling up interviews where he looked uneasy, dissecting body language, and even slowing down clips to catch subtle facial expressions that might hint at distress. One viral post compared 3 different interviews side by side, showing how his smile shifted from genuine to forced over time, suggesting he was carrying this weight long before anyone caught on. And then, the bombshell detail, the unexpected witness. Whoever walked in at the worst possible moment could very well be the key to unraveling everything. If they did see what's being described, they hold a perspective no one else does. The internet is buzzing with guesses about who this person might be. Was it a close friend who stumbled in by mistake? A colleague who wasn't supposed to be there? Or someone much higher up? Someone who was never meant to know the truth? The identity of that witness could flip the entire story on its head. Theories about the recording's content are growing wilder by the hour. Some claim it's simply an uncomfortable conversation that shows how much pressure Jay was under, while others believe it's something far more incriminating, something that could alter careers, reputations, and relationships forever. Fans are divided, some praying it never surfaces because of the damage it could cause, and others demanding transparency, arguing that if the truth is as serious as it sounds, people have a right to know. What makes this saga different from the usual internet drama is the way it has crossed boundaries between fan speculation, insider leaks, and mainstream conversation. News outlets are starting to pick it up, carefully wording their reports, but still leaning heavily into the mystery, recording narrative. Talk shows are dropping cryptic comments, influencers are weighing in with their own theories, and podcasts are dedicating entire episodes to unraveling the timeline. Meanwhile, Jay has gone silent since his confession. No posts, no statements, no clarifications. The silence is deafening, and it's only adding fuel to the fire. Every hour that passes without a response is making people more convinced that there's something massive brewing behind the scenes. Some believe his team is strategizing damage control, while others suspect he's being silenced altogether. At the heart of it all is a question that has no easy answer. If the recording does exist, should it ever be made public? On one hand, it could provide closure and clarity, proving once and for all what really happened. On the other, it could shatter lives, exposing details that were never meant to leave that room. The ethical dilemma is as gripping as the drama itself, leaving everyone torn between wanting the truth and respecting boundaries. For now, all we know is that Jay's admission was only the beginning. The story is evolving in real time, and every new leak or whisper threatens to push it into uncharted territory. The internet thrives on spectacle, and right now, this is the biggest show in town, whether the truth comes out in days, weeks, or months. One thing is clear: people won't stop watching, dissecting, and speculating until every last piece of the puzzle falls into place. Stick around, because by the end of this video, I'll break down what's been said about that alleged recording. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this.
You lose your man card. That's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than...
The story first blew up when a rising producer filed a shocking lawsuit against one of the biggest moguls in the music industry. According to the complaint, things went too far during a late-night party, and the producer claimed he was taken advantage of after having too much to drink. That alone was enough to shake the industry, but what sent shockwaves through fans was the allegation that the mogul tried to recruit him as a personal companion in exchange for favors and opportunities. To make matters worse, the mogul allegedly boasted about past encounters with other major artists as proof of his power. Once those claims hit the internet, the fallout was immediate. One artist who was mentioned in the lawsuit went straight to social media, firing off a heated response. He denied the allegations outright and promised that no one in the industry could ever play him like that. But before his words could settle, things took another turn. An audio clip began circulating online that supposedly captured a private moment between him and the mogul at one of those infamous industry parties. Though it was only audio, fans swore the voices were unmistakable, and speculation ran wild. From there, the internet did what it always does: dig up old receipts. Clips of the two men hanging out at parties suddenly looked suspicious in hindsight, and past social media activity was pulled apart and reinterpreted. Even song lyrics from years ago were resurfaced and held up as possible confessions. Each new discovery only added fuel to the fire, creating a tangled web of rumors and theories that seemed impossible to untangle. And just when it looked like the story couldn't get any more explosive, other celebrities began chiming in. Some defended the artist, while others threw subtle shade, suggesting there was more truth to the rumors than anyone wanted to admit. Before long, it wasn't just a scandal, it had turned into an all-out feud, with diss posts, clapback, and viral receipts dropping one after another. By the time the dust settled, the internet had already decided whose side they were on. And the story had cemented itself as one of the wildest sagas the industry had seen in years.
Is he speaking truth?
Of course he is.
You know? We seen quiet on set.
Major pain in his ass. Literally. Since he was a kid.
Man.
And then Meek Milk running around, talking about expensive pain.
Now,
in his
wait, this is Philly you're talking about now. Wait a minute, Jack.
Meek.
Wait a minute.
He's a fucking Fruit Loop. He Diddy fried.
This is Philly.
He's a deep fried. Period. He Diddy fried. He Diddy fried. He the Diddy do our bop. Meek, real rap.
You think that audio that they put out was real?
Yeah, that was him. Nicki put that up to here. That Nicki recorded that at the freak off in the Calabasas. She been waiting to drop that shit on Meek. She just wasn't gonna tell nobody it was Diddy. But now that Diddy out there, why not?
So then who's the guy who's claiming he recorded it?
Oh, somebody that got paid?
Yeah, he said like I was
Yeah,
standing
somebody
outside the
that
door.
got paid.
As always, the internet wasted no time in reacting, and the range of responses has been nothing short of explosive. Some people expressed shock, others outrage, and of course, there were those who turned the situation into memes and jokes, because that's what the online world does best. One comment that captured the mood of many read, "This is so wild he looks completely humiliated." That sentiment echoed across multiple platforms, where users dissected every photo, every clip, and every rumor connected to the unfolding drama. The arrest of Diddy only added fuel to the fire, especially when reports emerged claiming that investigators had discovered over 1,000 bottles of lube during their search. The sheer absurdity of that detail became a talking point on its own, with some treating it as a symbol of the excess and secrecy that defined Diddy's alleged lifestyle. But behind the humor and shock value lies a darker narrative, allegations that Diddy was coercing men while they were under the influence, manipulating situations to his advantage and leaving behind a trail of individuals who may have been left dealing with shame, confusion, and trauma. The ripple effects of those claims are massive, because they not only call into question his personal choices but also raise concerns about how power, fame, and control can blur the lines of consent. Within this conversation, Meek's name has been pulled into the spotlight, and that's where emotions run even higher. Many people are expressing sympathy, hoping he can move past not just the shame of being linked to these stories, but also the much heavier burden of dealing with the whispers, the memes, and the assumptions that come with being associated with something so controversial. In situations like this, public opinion becomes its own form of pressure, because the narrative is often shaped by what people believe online rather than what has been confirmed in reality. Another viral comment highlighted this sentiment perfectly. Meek looked worn out, even wearing red shorts to hide what happened with Diddy. That kind of speculation shows how quickly people are willing to connect dots, whether those dots are based on fact or pure imagination. Some users interpret every outfit choice, every facial expression, and every Instagram caption as evidence of a hidden truth, and before long, those theories take on lives of their own. What's fascinating and troubling about this entire situation is how it blurs the boundaries between entertainment and exploitation. On one hand, people flock to these stories because they're messy, dramatic, and filled with the kind of shocking twists that make for perfect trending content. On the other hand, the individuals at the center of these rumors are real people who have to live with the consequences of what's being said. Meek, for example, might be dealing with ridicule, judgment, or even internalized shame, regardless of whether the allegations have any basis in reality. That's the dangerous power of public discourse in the digital age. Once a story catches fire, the truth often becomes secondary to the spectacle. And then there's Jaguar's claim, which pushes the story into even wilder territory. According to her, Nicki was involved in leaking the alleged tapes, a claim that has divided audiences even further. For some, this accusation feels too outrageous to take seriously. For others, It fits neatly into long-standing narratives about industry, feuds, rivalries, and the way power players use information as weapons. The mere suggestion that Nicki could have played a role adds another layer of intrigue to an already complicated situation, because it shifts the focus from what happened in private to who might be manipulating what comes out in public. If Jaguar's claim has any truth, it raises important questions about loyalty, betrayal, and the behind-the-scenes dynamics of the music industry. If it's false, then it becomes yet another example of how quickly unverified claims can gain traction in a culture that thrives on sensationalism. Whether you believe these stories or not, one thing is clear: the conversation surrounding them is stirring strong emotions. For some, it's about entertainment, messy drama they can react to and laugh about. For others, it's about deeper issues: exploitation, manipulation, and the abuse of power that often lurks beneath the surface of fame. And for Meek, caught in the middle, it's about surviving the storm of public opinion while trying to preserve his own sense of dignity. The internet is a place where reputations can be dismantled in hours, where memes outlast facts, and where speculation can carry more weight than truth. That's why discussions like these matter, not just because they're entertaining, but because they reveal how quickly society turns personal pain into collective spectacle. So now I'll turn it over to you. How do you feel about Meek being linked to these confessions? Do you think it's fair to judge him based on rumors and assumptions? Or should people step back and remember that not everything circulating online reflects the full reality? And what are your thoughts on Jaguar's explosive claim that Nicki had a hand in leaking those tapes? Does that sound plausible to you? Or is it just another example of internet storytelling at its wildest? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because the discussion is far from over. And if you're ready for even more messy drama, don't forget to check out the next video. I promise, the twists only get bigger from here.